Hello guys and welcome back here to Tuning Dutchy. Now, well, there's actually happened a lot today. Now I'm gonna tell you guys very quickly what's happened today and what I have done currently to Matisse. Now, as I told you guys, I had a coolant leak because of manifold warping. Now, what means manifold warping? Manifold warping actually means after some time when you have a plastic or hardened plastic intake manifold where the air goes in, after some maybe 100,000 miles, you will actually see manifold warping. Now, manifold warping is that the plastic intake manifold is going to corrode, and because of the heat, it's going to bend, which means it's not going to seal that good anymore. Now, my intake manifold is a little bit more strange. I mean, this one is hardened plastic, but once the heat is rising up, I don't only have the intake manifold, because my intake manifold actually has two things in one. Of course, intake, duh. But the other thing is also, it blocks one of my coolant passages. Now, with manifold warping, those coolant passages can still get the coolant past that blockage, so where the gasket should go on. Now, once this is happening, you actually have to replace the old coolant blockage, so by cutting it away and getting a blueprint. That's what I have done. I ordered a blueprint and put that one on the car, put it coolant in there, let the engine run. I also have driven a piece, not even a single drip of leak. I'm very happy to see that this actually solves my problem. And yeah, I mean, there's quite some stuff that I have for you guys, so I'm not gonna make this one too large. Because of course soon I'm gonna drive with my car. I'm going to my dad's house finally after some time. But the other thing that has been happened, I mean, if you guys looked back at one of my videos, 0% battery, no electricity in the car, I was really thinking here, because my interior lights wouldn't work, dashboard light wouldn't work, I had nothing left anymore in my battery. I was thinking my battery was fried. So, with that being said, I have ordered a brand new battery. But here comes the good thing. With this new battery arrived, I could install that one. But guess what? After charging the old Lucas battery, it functioned again. No problem though. But I mean, these are waste costs for me at this moment. Now, I mean, I always have a reserve battery, luckily, which is very good, of course, because I don't know how old that battery is. So I always have a reserve one. And the other thing that I would like to tell you guys is something very interesting. And I told you guys that I was buying more and more stuff. So I'm gonna see here where I got. Oh, here is that thing. I got it already. So here you are, guys. This is a valve tool. So this one actually, this black side over here is going onto the valve itself, and the top side is holding the spring. Now with that screw here on the side, I can adjust this little thing over here to, well, whatever size spring I have. And well, with this red thing over here, I can let this one go and pull it back again. With pulling it back, with the pressure, and the springs will compress without, of course, the valves. But I have found a other way to do this job. I used actually two C-clamps. It was a very hard job to do because if those journals actually spring away, which hold the valve and spring in place, then you might get in trouble. Now, since I had only to replace 4 of the 6 valves. I mean, some were also very good, so I still have valves left. Not going to be a big issue, of course, and that worked out. But yeah, I mean, that one arrived, so I always have a valve tool at this moment, so I don't have to worry about anymore about broken or bent valves. So I have that, and no problems with it. I didn't try it out yet because I don't want to waste my time unnecessary when there is nothing to do at this moment. Now, one thing to show you guys, and this one is, I think, the most important, most nicest thing I have actually seen yet. As I told you, I was buying a second-hand cylinder head, which is laying here. Now this is a 3-cylinder cylinder head from my deal with Matisse, which I actually recently bought for 120 euros. Now it comes actually, well, I don't know, with red paint. Maybe someone died or something. I don't know. No, I'm just joking. Now, the camshaft actually itself, I mean, this camshaft wheel is a little bit rusty, but that's okay. I mean, since this one is not going to be used. But this is not the most important thing, guys. The most important thing begins over here. I'm going to give you guys 10 seconds to see what's different between other engines and this one, because to tell you guys this, 3-cylinder engine and 0.8 liters. I'm giving you guys 10 seconds from now on. Did you find it? Now, if you thought they were the spark plugs, you got right. Now, guys, as you can see, the spark plugs, these ones are not default and definitely not coming from the factory. Someone must have replaced these spark plugs, because, I mean, I'm gonna tell you guys what spark plugs these are. Now, normally, people, if you have a car, you're definitely not gonna take these spark plugs, because these spark plugs are, well, at least already performance spark plugs. As I told you, 3-cylinder, 0.8 liters, which is not even 20 cubic inch, with high performance spark plugs, that's a bit different. I mean, my car only has 52 horsepower, so where does the performance come in part? I don't know. But however, I mean, it's good for the ignition. Now, the difference between basic spark plugs and this one, basic spark plugs are actually only one like this with the electrode over there. These are basic, normal, probably for every kind of car. Now, and they are also actually very easy to break. Now, these ones, this is the brand Bosch Super. Now, because they have a cross pattern, which is very good for ignition, and probably maybe later also for my car when I'm gonna supercharge it. So subscribe already for that, because that's gonna happen. These ones, as I already said, are performance spark plugs with a very heat spark. Now, normally the spark plugs are giving blue sparks. Now, these ones are not giving blue sparks. At least that's not what they're meant for. They are meant for orange spark. Now, orange is, of course, heat. Blue is cold, right? Well, normally, if you look at a thermostat and you see blue, well, it's cold, or red is hot, like your thermostat in the car, like your heater. That's exactly the same with spark plugs. Now, I mean, you definitely don't want to hit the spark, because I think if you cannot dance, it will go automatically. But yeah, I mean, blue spark means a little bit more colder than orange. Now, I mean, we are not going to feel that, but that's how it works in an engine. So these high performance, or at least performance spark plugs, are very handy and will come very handy for later on in my car if I definitely want to do something about the ignition, fuel, and suddenly supercharging. Now, other thing, which I didn't told you guys about the manifold warping. I'm very happy to see that my coolant leak has been fixed. Very happy to see that, because the only thing I have to do is, well, at least adjust my valves a little bit, because someone told me to fix that, because this was probably a valve adjustment. So if you hear this, you probably know where I'm talking to, at least. Think you're ready for that. I'm gonna do that very quickly soon. But yeah, I mean, now for the people, this is an interesting thing, and if you would like to watch it. Now, if not, just skip this part. And yeah, if you have a broken timing belt, and you're not familiar with cars, but you think, hey, I had a guy that had a broken timing belt, what's happening with the engine? Probably this. If you don't know what this is one of your valves from your car. This is by every car that is an interference engine. Now, I cannot quite explain what an interference engine is, but at least if you're running on gasoline, diesel, something like that, this might happen. They are pretty bent and they belong to be straight. So when they are bent, your engine is going to hold up and your probably your engine is not going to work anymore. Or if you only have one bent exhaust valve. Now, I mean, in the most cases, this is not happening because you have more, just like me, 4 from the 6 bent valves. But yeah, that's actually how it looks like when your timing belt breaks. This might happen, should not happen in every kind of scenario. If you're one of the people that have not broken or bent valves, then you're very lucky, because only 5% of the people can move on with just a new timing belt. In my case, this was definitely not the scenario. So yeah, I mean. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna drive very soon to my dad's house. So with that being said, that means probably that I'm gonna run another drive POV for you guys. So I would like to say to see you guys soon again. The drive POV, guys, will be probably online again on Sunday, as you guys know. Now the repair is almost done, and when the repair is actually completely done, we can finally move on to the tuning stuff. Now I only have to buy a little data box, which is the KWP plus 2000, bunch of words, but anyway, it's just the signal box which actually transfers data from the ECU to a laptop. That's all. An ECU is just your computer in your car, just like your computer at home. So very easily said. Anyways, guys, now I'm gonna hang up the phone because I'm gonna take a shower. Yeah, I mean it's time to drive my car a bit. And yeah, let's see. Going to my dad's house, so I'm very curious what's gonna happen with my car. Hopefully it's gonna stay fine, but I think so. Looks very good. Anyways, guys, this was Tuning Dutchy. I'm gonna sign off. Subscribe to the channel to see later on very nice content about the supercharging and all these kinds of stuff, maybe chip tuning and all that. And don't forget to like the video, because this was a nice project at all, even unplanned, but it was nice to do. Anyways, share also this with your friends if they would like supercharging cars. Now this one this might be very nice to do with all of you. And yeah, now I'm gonna take a shower and I see you guys the next time. This was Tuning Dutchy and I'm gonna sign off. I see you guys on Sunday with the Drive POV.